Oh, yep, I definitely need that fan. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. Alright, so I figured I would do an update for week 5, end of week 5. Again, this is not going to be anything super edited, just raw vlog about how my journey is going. Week 5 was good. I actually ended up having an extra day of run. So I know I've been running 3 days a week, and so I decided to have one more day of an easy run again, just to kind of get that momentum going, as well as just to get some miles in. So last week was good. We had a broken 3.1 mile run, which took me about 3.76 miles total, about an hour. So, what I've been really trying to do this for week 5 is to really stick to my zone 2, and which is why my pace has been really struggling compared to where I was running before, and we'll get into that more in a little bit. Then I had an interval training day where I had 600 meter reps for 5 times, and again, kind of learned my lesson from the week before. I didn't go all out, so that was not gassed in the middle of the run. I kind of just paced it where I'm able to do the whole 600 and see where I can really push it, and then take my breaks and then continue going on from there. And then I had a 4-mile slow run, which was also really nice, and again, tapping into my zone 2 for that. It's been really good. And then I had an extra, I think, 3-mile day where I just ran really slow, but just to kind of get an extra run. And I think it's what I'm gonna start doing. Is one of the days I just want to kind of be out there running just because, and not really training for anything specific, just to again get the miles in, get that repetition in. I'm supposed to have my 5k next week, but I'm probably gonna be just doing a 5k near my house because my real 5k is gonna be in November. But I'm just gonna run a 5k just to see where I'm at now. That'll give me another 2 weeks of October to really work on and see if I can increase my pace for the real 5k that I do in the beginning of November. Hopefully you can't hear my neighbor's dog. If you can, I'm sorry, or my fan. Oh, and then update wise, I have finally landed on 3 shoes that I'm really liking so far. First one is my easy one, which is the Gel-Nimbus 25. This is my slow pace, really cushiony, really soft, not too soft. They were in wide. I got them for like $100 on Amazon. They were on sale. Like these a lot. Colorway could be better, but again, I don't mind it. It's super soft, super squishy, but just right amount of squish, not like super cloudy where I feel really slow. I'm actually able to push the pace a little bit, get a little bit of bounce on that. Just picked up the Adidas SL2, which is a trainer that a lot of people swear by. I have been enjoying it. The only issue I have is, again, the squishiness in this one is not so much, but which I think is a good thing for me because it is helping my running form and my running pace. I got in the wide, so it's only one like colorway you can get in the wide. The heel is very narrow, so it's not necessarily a stability shoe by any means. I enjoy it because it does kind of give me a good amount of push when I need it, and again, it's not super cushiony. Obviously there's more cushions in the Gel-Nimbus, but I do like to do this whenever I'm just wanting to perfect my form, because I know my running form can be a lot better. So this has been really cool. I know the new one's coming out, the Evo SL. I'm actually picked that one up too, because that one, they said it's a lot softer as well, with the same kind of technology that this has. So I can't wait for that one. It's kind of cool. Lastly, my favorite shoe though, this is my favorite shoe. That is the New Balance SC Super Comp Trainer version 2. So there is a version 3 out, which goes for like 180, 190, I believe. It's just a version 2. I heard this one was actually a little bit better for more people. It's very cushiony. I love that about it. It also does have a carbon fiber plate in the bottom. It's just like, I don't know what it is. When I'm running with the Adidas SL2, I just keep saying, God, I wish I had my New Balance out, because I just feel like this shoe helps me run more stable, more like, you know, I can push the pace because of the carbon fiber. Also, there's a lot of cushioning on it, so I feel more comfortable. I actually prefer this over anything that I run in. But on my slow days, I do try to run in my Gel-Nimbus just because it is a little bit easier and more cushioned. But for most of my training, I think I'm gonna just stick with this, and I might use the SL2 for some training days. but I think until I really lose weight and really perfect and get comfortable with running it every single week for a very long time, maybe get a couple races in, I might just be running in these non-stop, just to kind of get the mileage in. Also, I do appreciate the cushiony part of this, so this is going to be really cool. My favorite shoe overall. The last thing I want to talk about is Zone 2. So again, with week 5, I really was very intentional about staying within Zone 2, and the past few weeks I've been running around 155, 160 heart rate, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay within the 135 to 145, which is the Zone 2 that was calculated for me, and I want to make sure I stick to that. It's very, and I think I talked about this in the past, it's very frustrating because if I just run like at a nice easy pace that I feel comfortable at for even more than like 5 minutes, I'm already in the 160s, and I'm just like, holy moly, okay, I gotta slow down, I gotta start walking, really bring it back down. So then my pace is coming out to be like 15-16 minutes, and then I time myself when I'm actually running, I'm actually just walking really fast, I'm at 1750, so I'm only like shaving off about a minute and a half per se when I'm running in my Zone 2, and it's really frustrating because I don't feel like I'm getting any faster. I really want to push the pace, I really want to get a good workout in. I mean, I am obviously sweating, but I just feel like it's just not necessarily making me faster or better runner. But I think this is something that most people say is an issue with Zone 2, especially when you're just starting out. You will have the same thing where like you don't feel necessarily comfortable and you can be running a lot slower the first few times. And I think that is something that I'm going through because I am running a lot slower. And I'm just gonna keep sticking with it though. I think obviously during my training days when I'm doing interval training, I will be pushing the pace. But the other days, I've been very, very hyper focused and cognizant on trying to make sure, okay, if I reach 150, I start to back off or even just start walking. And I'm just gonna continue to do that because I think that's gonna really help me out in the long run. I did notice when I started like in late week 4, and within one week, I have gotten a little bit faster with staying within the Zone 2, but it is something that's frustrating, especially when you're just starting off. And then, you know, I'm just like, okay, I want to get to like a 10-minute mile pace, but it's just not going to happen because, again, I'm just not able to push the pace that I want to push it at. So I'm going to keep at it. Week 5 is done. Next week is week 6, and for my run plan, this is when I actually will finish my 5K. I will do a 5K next Saturday, and then after that, I may just start a 10K training plan just to kind of keep going. Once I get my 5K time in, I may just go into a 10K plan, maybe like 8-week out plan, and prepare for that. Because again, I want to make sure I get my 8K done by January, so that way I can do a half by like March or April next year. So I'm just trying to stay with it, trying to make sure I'm just staying consistent with it. It's a lot of fun. I am really enjoying this community. I just enjoy being outside. You know, before I used to run a lot in treadmills or just around my community over here, but I actually am running in trails, which is a lot of fun too. So stay tuned, and I will report back in week 6. See how it goes.
They do not understand it, 'cause I've been sharpening my blade. I'm here to spread them.